Welcome to Moon Harbor Extended. Today's issue is Cosmic, Issue 7, Crisis on a Couple of Earths. This issue's cover is split horizontally. On the left, we see Ovi and Jet darting through the streets of a ruined, desolate Moon Harbor. On the right, we see Mason and Mal walking down the same streets in present-day Moon Harbor. The streets are bustling with the everyday life of the city. We turn the page and our story begins. Mason, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I think Mason is gonna send out a clone to go back to the scientist friends he just made and ask if they have psychic blockers.
Go ahead and roll. I think we get the panel of like Mal and you all are taking the ship, right?
Yep.
Cool. We get the panels of like Mal and Mason quickly packing the ship up, getting it ready for flight.
That's a 4. I guess they don't have psychic blockers.
We get the panels of the Mason entering that same lab, and only Frank is there, but we see him like kind of slumped over the desk. Mason walks up, taps on the desk, and Frank doesn't respond. And at that point, Frank looks kind of flat, and we see like 12 ferrets run across the room and climb into the Frank suit, and it sits up and animates a bit. And I think the Mason just poofs out of surprise.
That sounds fair.
And I think our next panel is, unless there's anything the two of you want on the ship, or before you leave.
Maybe before we leave, like one panel where we can see that since Mason's ship was thoroughly destroyed back on the planet, he has a new ship and it's shaped a bit differently.
All right, awesome. Mal, did you do anything else before leaving the station?
Nope, I'm good.
We get the panel of the USB undocking off of the station and then heading out into just this really colorful, rippled space behind it. And we turn the page, and we are back with Jet and Ovi. You're on what used to be one of the main streets of Moon Harbor. In front of you is the ruined remains of the Monarch Power Building. I think there's probably 4 floors worth of mainly broken glass and steel girders left. You can see several of the large ships flying a distance off, but from here, you can see the smaller cube ships patrolling. The last safe house you were in wasn't hugely far away. Nothing has seen you yet. What do y'all do?
Are we in front of the building we were?
Yeah, you're in front of the building.
Yeah, Ovi's going right in.
It doesn't look like those ships caused this destruction. Just the destruction is far too great.
It's been going on for a long time.
I think we get the couple panels of you, the two of you scouting through the ruined remains of the building and then finding a trapdoor in the floor, lifting it open, heading down. And since we haven't done this panel in forever, the whole stairwell leading deep underground as we see just the black around. Do you want anything while traveling or want to jump straight in?
I think Ovi's gonna try to fill Jet in a little bit. So Jet, in case we do find people, I don't remember many specifics of what happened that caused all of this. I mostly remember emotions, and I don't know why, but
are you saying people good or people bad?
I'm saying I think you exist in the future and you're not especially liked. So I want to...
Wow.
Yeah, you should be prepared for that.
Wow. Okay.
I came back I came back for this mission because it goes wrong. And the versions of all of you in the future, y'all fucked up. And I don't remember what you did. I guess let's just get down this trapdoor.
Do you think you were confessing the difference between what you thought they'd be and what they really are? I'm not sure.
Is that it? I mean, is there a opposite of comfort and support?
I have different ones. I think yes, it does count.
Okay, so let's trigger that team move.
So I add a team to the pool and ask them if you represent a future they'd want. So does Ovi represent a future that Jet wants?
This is a pretty scary fucking future, if you ask me.
So no. This is not like.
Well, I mean, I wasn't talking about you.
So does Ovi represent a future he wants? Or no?
Since Ophi's trying to change the future, maybe in an ambiguous kind of way, yes.
Okay, and then I mark potential.
All right.
Thank God, because if I had to mark a condition, I would be 4 out of 5.
Do we want more conversation through this walk? Because this staircase can be as long as we need it to be.
I don't think I have anything else at the moment.
I could just jump down that staircase.
So yeah, I think we get a panel of the two of you reaching a door at the end. And who steps through first?
Ovi.
Cool. The person inside puts you in immediate peril. Do you want to give us the panel of what that looks like? If they caught you off guard.
I think we open the door and Ovi tries to go through and is just bounced back. There's like where the door frame is, there's a force field.
And then I think we get a figure stepping into the doorway. What do they look like?
She has long black hair. Her skin's like fairly tan. She's got like really big brown eyes. Really cute.
And I think we get an editor's note with her name and like a brief description of powers.
Rocio Ramirez, force fields.
And a further editor's note that says Ovi's X.
Jet says, "Hi."
And we get a panel with Rocio's eyes glancing back and forth between the two of you. And then she looks at you and goes, Ovi? Is that... What the hell?
Rocio, oh my God.
And the portal drops. Well, not the portal. The force field drops.
Ovi runs forward and just like gives her a huge hug.
We get the panel of the two of you hugging. I have to move out of faces mode. No one whispers into your mind. And then, like, I think that that goes on for like 2 panels, and then she like holds you back at arm's length. He goes, "Why are you back now?"
I opened a portal and it came here, and I don't know how.
So you couldn't fix it? Did you figure it out?
We'd barely gotten started. We're trying to get back and fix it.
You've been gone 4 years. And who's your friend? And she looks up and I think locks eyes with Jet, and then almost immediately gets just a deep frown. It's like, why is he here? Is that he's...
Yep. He came through the portal with me.
Hey, you look a lot like my next girlfriend.
No, she does not.
Excellent. And I think with that, we're going to cut back over to Mal and Mason, because that was just a great way to end a panel. Hold on. I had a custom move around here somewhere if I didn't lose it.
I recommend just letting us roll a 10+ on it, because we've all had a really rough couple rolls.
You know what I am? I'm just going to like have the two of you give me some complication you ran into taking this track. And we're just going to go through like a quick couple panels of how you defeated it.
I think it's something super, super mundane. Like on the route, like we ran across construction, but it wasn't actually construction. It was like a pirate crew set up to look like a construction crew to be like, nah, sorry, you got to go around. And I was just like, move, and just like blasted through them.
I'm into it. Cool. And then I think we get the ship just blinking into existence in orbit around Earth. What do y'all do?
I think we just aim and just like go like crashing with very little regards for the safety of the ship towards Moon Harbor.
Where are you bringing down the ship?
I mean, it's got to be the park, right?
And they just renovated it.
Oh,
Mason's just going, don't break my new ship, don't break my new ship, don't break my new ship.
I think we see like a big sign that's like grand reopening of the water tower, which was recently destroyed, and we just crashed right into the water tower.
Oh, excellent. And we turn the page, and we are back with Jet and Ovi. So our panel is a overhead shot of the kind of ruined, like once tall building that the safe house is underneath. And coming out of it, we get a voice bubble from Rocio saying, so wouldn't it just be easiest to kill him now? And we're going to cut back into the safe room. Where is everyone in the safe room? Let's say you all have been here just a little bit.
I guess is it just like, what kind of room is it? More like lounge, like planning room?
It's kind of a bit of everything. There's equipment everywhere. There's a couple ratty couches. Lounge is probably going a bit far, but there's definitely like a table and couches.
Okay. She's probably seated at the table.
I'm probably with my back against a wall or a pillar, arms folded, looking cool.
And Rocio's pacing. She's like, no, but like, we don't know how, but if we know he ends up causing the problem, we kill him now, it fixes all this, right?
No, I don't think that's how that works. We don't want him to cause the problem. We could try to, like, I want to be there to help him not do that.
Yeah, that would have been ideal, but he left 4 years ago. It obviously doesn't work. If it hasn't happened yet, this could fix it. I'd like to get a reaction panel from Jet.
You guys know I'm right here, right?
Yeah, and you're probably you're probably okay, but there's a lot more at stake here.
I do the finger gun
Okay.
in response to I'm probably okay.
Rocio, I only left like 5 months ago. I haven't had time to fix everything. Like I'm really hoping it's just because I haven't been back there long enough. We only like took off and like left Earth a few weeks ago. We were on our first mission. There hasn't been time.
Well, I guess we have to get you back then.
Any ideas?
Dear, jumping out here, how did you get sent back? Because I don't think we've ever discussed specifics of it.
They used her portal powers to do like the space jump, and there was a researcher who was working really hard to figure out how to do a time jump. And so the researcher was kind of like, okay, let me try to figure out time stuff and worry about space. And then they found Ovi and just ended up being like, oh, she can do portals. This is convenient.
So is it like a machine that you used your powers through?
I guess I'm picturing like, yeah, like hooking her up to a machine and then like sending her through that way.
Okay. Rocio's sighs because, I mean, we haven't been back to the safe house you left from since you left. There's no real reason. The people have been ripping up the city. I think they're building something. There's not many of us left, but we could check. Maybe we can get it running again. Or we could just kill him. I think that'll fix it all.
Let's go to the safe house. I think we were just there. We checked there first.
Oh, was it the same one?
When we went there, I said that was the last safe house that she remembered. So probably.
Ah, okay. Well,
That is strategically keeping quiet about the ships that flew towards that house.
No matter what, it's a location that she's been to, so she can try to open a portal there.
okay. So is that what you're doing?
I guess so.
We get the panel of you ripping open the portal, and we see just that has been ripped down to the floor.
That is just like totally the building's empty. I think we get a panel where like we're all looking at this, and then Ovi just like keeps a blank expression and closes the portal. Okay, anybody have a plan B?
I bet it's still there. All right, now think. If you were a portal device thingy, where would you go?
I mean, if the whole building's destroyed, it's probably gone.
Doesn't have basement?
I'm gonna open a portal to the basement and see if it's any better.
I mean, you asked for a plan B.
I think, yeah, we get the portal opened up into a basement. There's not a huge amount of light in it, but the light spilling through the portal, we see a lot of machinery and such not.
And I'm already walking ahead saying, see, I'm not always useless. And probably stumbling in the dark.
I'm gonna like gesture out my arm to like Rocio, like, you wanna go through?
She looks at you, looks at Jet as he walks in, and shakes her head a little bit and goes, last time I'm going to ask, seriously, can we just kill him? And then steps through.
Ovi's gonna laugh at that, and then, yeah, she's gonna follow her through, and the portal's gonna close behind her.
Cool. I think we're going to jump over to our other team. Okay, so our next panel is, did you bring the full USB or just your 2 ships?
To the space station or to Earth?
With you now, setting up this probe, this beacon probe in space.
For some reason, with the beacon, I thought we had to be back with the ferret people to make it work. Can we do it from in the deep depths of space?
It needs to be set up near where the other group is, like in that same system.
So near Earth.
Right.
Ah, cool. Then I think we'd probably just brought Mason's ship, and I'm like either inside of it or floating around it.
Okay, and Mason, what does this like beacon probe look like? I assume you're the one mainly setting up the mechanics on it.
I think they gave us like a super over-engineered old satellite that Saber has been using to probe space, and I think it was an old science experiment where they would send out messages into space trying to contact other alien races before it was decided that it was a really bad decision. But I think this thing doesn't go across dimensions. And I think that's what we're trying, or across time and space and stuff. So I guess that's what we're trying to set up.
Okay. And is there anything you two wanted to hear between the two of you?
I think I'm like floating around the ship, like on the outside, trying to set up the beacon and like talking to Mason. And I'm like, so you were a little freaked out earlier. And now that we have a second and we're not, racing around the multiverse, are you okay?
How much has Ovi told you about the future?
It's generally pretty bad. Lots of fire and stuff burning and buildings collapsed.
So when we met for the first time, I kind of accidentally looked into her mind, and I know that I'm connected to this future. But then earlier when we contacted them, all I could sense on the other end of the line was like billions of, me.
Like your people or like more copies of you?
I mean, I think it's my people. I think my people are on Earth in the future.
Well, I'm sorry. I imagine that was probably pretty traumatic.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I like being me, and the way it works is that, like, my people don't have superpowers. But it's only when we leave the hive that we become ourselves. So I don't want to get anywhere near my people.
Well, hopefully when we set up the beacon, Ovi and Tony will be able to just come over and none of your people will come with them. And I think that's probably a comfort and support. I don't think it's a good one, but I think it probably is a comfort and support.
I think this is the nicest we've been together to each other in a long time. So
Yeah, no, that's definitely a comfort and support. And while you roll that, I'm gonna just toss out both of your characters are aware that to get Ovi to be able to use this beacon anyway, you need to let them know it exists.
You can't go below a -3, right?
Correct.
Brilliant. I'm gonna mark potential so hard for that.
I don't think I can do anything to make that better.
I have a -2 already, and then I'm angry, so that is a -4 if we were playing by not rules as written.
I'm totally imagining that you're trying to pat me on the back before you realize that would just hurt me, and you do like the ghost hand thing.
I'm gonna give you an option here, Mal. You can treat that as a 7 to 9 if you'd like. I'm gonna mark a threat clock if you do.
No, it feels right that Mal filled that role.
Okay.
Mal's not very good at being a human, as noted by the fact that they are not a human, because they are a living ball of stardust.
Cool. I think we get a bit of an awkward moment. Mason, if you'd like, you can ask a question off the Pierce the Mask list.
How can I get influence over Mal?
If you prove to Mal that you see them as human, or if you do something really truly heroic and selfless.
That makes sense. So for my level up from last session, I'm going to take alien tech, which means that I can alter a human device and make it do something really crazy, but only once and then it breaks.
Excellent.
So I think I can do something to this machine to make it more powerful, and I think we can reach them.
Like, we won't have to go back to the space station to send them a message. You'll be able to send it from here.
Yeah, I think this thing can basically just reach them, but I'd have to tinker with it.
Great. Do that then. I don't know why we're talking about this instead of you just doing it. And there's the Mal we know and love.
Are you getting sassy because you failed to comfort or support someone?
Of course I am.
That feels
Anytime
right.
Mal fails at anything, they get upset about it.
That feels on brand.
So at this point, Mason looks at them and goes, "Oh, I already was." And Mal looks over, and there's already 3 Masons tinkering with it.
I think Mal just kind of rolls their eyes and is like, great, let me know when it's done. And I think we see the like shot of like Mal looking like impatient. We cut back to Mal and we see that like Mal's eyes have softened and they look super, super worried. And then I think we get like a really far pulled back shot of like just how empty they are in space and like tiny little USB ship, Mal floating like on the slightly in the foreground of it. And then in the background, it's just this like massive shot of the Earth.
Okay, so I rolled a 9, which means that we can choose whether, like, if we push it up to a 10, then it either works exceptionally well, or we can get an additional use out of it.
Can you read the whole move?
Sure.
Appreciate
just a second. Okay, so on a hit, you create a device that can do something impossible once and then fizzle. On a 10 plus, it works exceptionally well, or we get an additional use out of it. And on a miss, the device works, but it has a completely unintended side effect that GM will reveal.
Okay, so that is a 9. What options do you want to pick? Oh, you were asking about possibly using team.
Yeah, I don't know if we need an extra use or if we need it to go exceptionally well.
I can spin a team and make it go exceptionally well. I think I like see you like start channeling the energy and I just like throw up just a wall of gravity around the ship. So like no space debris, no space dust, nothing can get near it. Just to like ensure the safety of the like beacon on the outside of the ship.
Cool. I think there's this epic panel where you're protecting the spaceship, the space probe, and I'm working on it. And there's this giant flash or something.
Do we want to cut to the other team and have you communicate from like on that side, or do you want to do it here?
I think it's more interesting if it happens on their side.
Like with you, Mason?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to cut back over to Jet and Ovi. You've had a little bit of time in the basement. I think you've probably got like emergency lights on. There's a fair bit of equipment here. A lot of looking through, it looks like most of the actual like hardware is good. The computer systems and the guidance systems and the targeting systems all seem fried. Rocio is kind of looking over it all, turns to Ovi and goes, "So, do you know how to put any of this together?"
Nope.
How about him? And Jet, what are you doing when we cut the panel to you?
I'm tossing around the thing that I found in the safe house before, just in my hands, and then I look up like, "You looking at me?"
Yeah. What do you do? You smart? Well.
He lifts up a hand and shoots a giant burst of water out at the ceiling at an angle. That's what I do.
She turns to Ovi, and he's the one that dooms us all. He shoots water.
I mean, it's the 3 of them, but yeah, it's him.
Mason, how do you want to communicate? Do you have any ideas? Is it through that same phone?
I mean, what do you think, Mal?
I was thinking like it like goes to their communicator since we got the like exceptionally well. So like it just like skips the landline and goes straight to the communicators or like in their pockets or whatever.
Didn't we have our communicators who are tattoos on our wrists, right?
Yeah, that's it. It does that thing then.
Is it going to both of us or to one of us? Whose wrist is calling?
I think both of your wrists get the call.
I think ultimately that one's up to Mason as the person making the call.
Yeah, I think it goes to both of them.
Can we get a panel of like we see like the same like previous shot of like the 3 of them in this room, and then like I guess like some vibrations and then like the noise illustrations from the two of our wrists, and then us looking at each other like, wait, what?
Jet's ringtone is the Lighthammer song.
I'm gonna hold my wrist up to my mouth. Hello?
I think Mason is not in on the call, by the way. I think it's just Mal because Mason doesn't want to call the scary place again.
Oh, I thought I was definitely outside the ship protecting it. In my mind, I was like floating outside, not inside with you.
Okay, so I have to do the call. Okay, sure.
It is through
That's-
your communicators, so
I think I look at Mason to be like, you're not gonna talk? Okay, I'll talk. That's fine. And I bring my wrist up and I'm like, hey, how we doing? You all surviving? Anyone dead yet?
Yeah, we're good. Trying to convince my friend to not kill Jet.
Yo, buddy, yeah, can you get us out of here?
I can try. We've got a thing that might work. We've got a signal, like a beacon that we got from Saber. It's been advanced to be able to reach across time and space. If you can portal to this exact beacon location, like if you can trace it, it should take you directly into our ship. It's going to be a little tight because we didn't think about the fact that there were going to have to be 4 people flying back in it. So you're going to be a little cramped, but I think it's better than being in the literal apocalypse.
How do I connect to it?
Well,
and with that, there's a big thump up above you all.
Well, it's in your bodies now. Like it has connected to your communicator. So faith, trust, and a little pixie dust, I think.
Oh, that's all fine and all, but how do we use it?
I'll have to figure it out, but I think we have to go again.
Don't go. Just hold on. Figure it out and then just leave. You don't need to stay here. Get out of there.
Hey, where's the crazy little spaz?
I want to open up a portal to the safe house we were previously in. I want to get Rocio out of here.
I'm going to ask you to unleash your powers.
Oh
As you
boy.
start ripping open a portal, you feel like a heavy resistance pushing against it.
No, I got a 5.
Dum dum dum.
I just want my ex-girlfriend to be safe.
I think the portal like opens up to about a foot across and then snaps shut. And it almost just like feels like there's like a damp blanket on you. And we start hearing a loud, like a high-pitched hum from up above, reminiscent of the Jet. You've heard this before when the rest of this building was sucked upward.
Mason, you coward, where are you? I know you can hear me.
What's up?
Ah, thought you could get away from me, huh?
Rocio, is there another way out of here?
I don't know. I don't think so. She starts looking. I can see her frantically searching for like any hidden doors, etc. And as she's searching, she's like, the people have gotten better. They've gotten better technology since you've last seen them. They kind of got wise to the portals.
Yeah, it's like a struggle opening them. It used to be so easy here.
Are you also searching for a way out?
Yeah, I'm like frantically looking around and I'm not having any success.
Cool. I'm going to have you roll to assess in just a moment, but I want to jump back into this Jet yelling at Mason while you're searching.
You know, you could learn a lot about teamwork from your old friend Mal. You know, they've been reaching out, trying to get us out of here. What are you doing?
And we get the panel of Mason on the probe and this speech bubble coming out of the tattoo. Totally up to you whether you want to respond, but you're definitely hearing it.
Ask Mel. Like, they'll tell you. Do you have something important? Because I really don't want to be on this call. I really don't like it. Also, tell Ovi that they're really close.
Yeah, I know.
Close to what? I assume
Close-
at this point the ceiling is going to basically break down on us.
They're close to us, Jet. Help us get out.
Can I attempt to unleash my powers and, like, push back? Like, maybe cause the nearby Masons to stagger a bit?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to try that. What is that? Unleash powers?
Yep. Plus freak.
That's a 6, and I don't have.
So what does it look like when you start to use your psychic powers here? Like, what does that panel look like? Just the start of it.
I think Mason goes, well, here goes, and then I think I think all the Masons that are around the probe grab the probe at the same time. I think there's a flash of light at the other people's side.
Okay.
But I guess what happens then is up to you.
See how we get the three Masons grabbing the probe and that energy building. We're going to cut back into the basement, where at this point, like things near the ceiling on like high shelves are starting to lift up a little bit. And Ovi, go ahead and roll that assess the situation. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
So that's a 3. We get the.
You must be distracted by our wonderful phone call.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's it. Like, I can't focus between like all of the conversations going on and being attacked above us, and also trying to focus on finding a way out.
Like we get a couple panels of you and Rocio just like darting around searching stuff, and Jet the whole time is just standing in the middle of the panel yelling into his wrist phone. And then the ceiling completely rips off. And up above we see Mason, just to double check, all your people generally look the same, right?
Yeah, they basically all look just exactly like Mason, just without clothes.
Okay. So we see 7 Masons. They are slightly different than the Mason from the team in that like their features are smoother. They've changed a bit over the time. We also see one Mason standing off to the side that looks exactly like the Mason from your all's team.
Oh shit.
Slowly looks up. Motherfucker.
And we are going to cut back to the probe, where we have the smoking remains of 2 Mason clones, or 2 dupes, there you go, 2 Mason dupes, and a central Mason steps back, and his face is almost completely smooth, just the barest hint of features, and we see him like look up at Mao.
Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets, TB Huth, and Elliot Peterson, and edited by Anthony Sheets and Sean Geddes. Anthony can be found on Twitter at IcyNewYear or at icynewyear.com. T is a theater artist and educator in the DC area. She can be found at thuthplaywright on Twitter or tphuth94 on Instagram. Elliot can be found at ElliottYlen, ELLIOTYLEN on Twitter. Sean can be found at The Crumpit, THECRUMPIT on Twitter. Moon Harbor Heroes is played using Masks: A New Generation, written by Brendan Conway and produced by Magpie Games. The music in this issue is Work by Kevin MacLeod. A link to his website and the license will be in the show notes. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or on Patreon at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. This issue is GM'd by Anthony Sheets. Stardust is played by T. Huth. Portali is played by Elliot Peterson. Jet is played by EXPHP. You probably won't find him at itsexphp on Twitter, but it's worth a try. Mason is played by Simon Meskins. You can find him as at Gilbereka, GILBERREKE on Twitter. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice or tell a friend. 5-star reviews and word of mouth are really the best way for us to keep bringing these stories to more people. If you'd like to support us financially, check us out at patreon.com/moonharborheroes. Supporting us there will give you access to bonus issues each month. And thank you for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.